Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert police have arrested one person following a drug trafficking investigation. In late September, the crime reduction team began an investigation into suspected cocaine trafficking in the city, leading to the search of a residence in the 1000 block of First Avenue West. On Thursday, police seized 2 cell phones, 100 grams of crack cocaine, more than $6,000, and some digital scales. 37-year-old Duop Lal was arrested and charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking. He appeared in provincial court on Friday. The last trial connected to Megan Gallagher's death is underway in Saskatoon. 47-year-old Roderick Sutherland is charged with manslaughter. Today, he formally pleaded not guilty. Gallagher was 30 years old when she went missing in 2020. Her remains were found 2 years later near St. Louis in the South Saskatchewan River. The trial opened with jury selection. More than 100 people were called before a final panel of 12 was chosen. Sutherland is the last of 9 people charged in Gallagher's death. The trial is expected to last 2 weeks. Evidence is currently in a voir dire, a trial within a trial, under a publication ban. A man has died following a crash near Lanigan. RCMP say an SUV and a tractor collided at the intersection of Highway 16 and Highway 20 Friday night at about 7:30. The passenger of the SUV died at the scene. He's been identified as a man from another country. The driver and the other 2 passengers in the SUV were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The semi-driver was not injured. There's no word yet on what contributed to the crash. RCMP have released more information about a crash Thursday morning east of Nipawin. RCMP say a vehicle traveling on Highway 55 struck a pedestrian. The pedestrian died at the scene and at last word has not been identified. The driver remained at the scene. A man is also dead after the vehicle he was in tried to get away from police and slammed into a building. The incident began when RCMP were called to a home in Creighton for a domestic dispute that saw a man assault a woman. The woman was reported to have been taken against her will by the man who drove away. When officers tried to pull over the vehicle, it took off. Police tried to use a tire deflation device, but the vehicle again did not stop. It continued for about a kilometer until it slammed into a building. The driver ran from the scene. A 20-year-old man who was a passenger was seriously injured and died in hospital. Saskatchewan's Serious Incident Response Team has been called in to investigate. Meanwhile, the driver of the vehicle, a 27-year-old man, is facing a string of charges, including assault, dangerous operation of a vehicle, and leaving the scene of an accident causing death. One person was taken to hospital after a vehicle hit the side of a convenience store over the weekend. Police were called to the Co-op on Ludlow Street yesterday just before noon. An SUV was left with significant damage, as was the building. The area was taped off while the crash was investigated. The driver and only person in the SUV was believed to have suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police suspect impairment was a contributing factor in the crash. I would say a breath of fresh air, Jeff, but I wasn't quite ready for that cold this morning. Yeah, well, the cold this morning, we are going to see a bit of moderation, as we say, as we love to say in the weather business, some moderation, but we still have some cold air that is going to be continuing to come down on top of us. A bit of a seesaw with regard to our temperatures, and some places are getting into the, well, into the nasty minuses. Regina was -5 this morning, and we do have a cold night in store for Prince Albert, and we'll talk about that later on. The Saskatchewan NDP convention was hosted in Saskatoon over the weekend. Carla Beck was successful in her post-election review result. She got the highest post-election review result in the party's history, which means she will continue to serve as party leader. The event was also an opportunity for NDP members from across the province to connect with one another.
I've dedicated a lot of my time to very specific areas, including legal spaces, Indigenous legal spaces, and, you know, learning about the economy, learning about agriculture, learning about how we speak to one another across this province and how we can get things moving for everybody. I mean, I'm here to learn, and I've been learning.
More than 600 people were in attendance over the weekend. Premier Scott Moe is supporting Saskatchewan Vice Chief, who's speaking out against the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations. Fourth Vice Chief Craig McCallum wrote an open letter last week responding to the allegations FSIN is facing after a federal audit questioned more than $34 million in spending over a 5-year period. In his letter, McCallum, who was elected to the executive last fall, said there needs to be change moving forward and that denial and deflection will not restore trust. McCallum went on to say the audit needs to be taken seriously and this time should be used as a turning point.
I did appreciate Chief McCallum's comments to ensure everyone is moving forward in an honest and humble way, and I think that is in there are some words for all of us.
Moe says the federal government is the FSIN's largest funding partner, with the province largely working with FSIN on the gaming agreement to keep casinos operational. Premier Moe says his government is not considering ending photo radar in our province. The effectiveness of automated speed enforcement has been under debate in other provinces, including Ontario, where Premier Doug Ford has called it a cash grab. The Ontario government plans legislation this fall to end its use. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe believes photo radar reduces traffic speed.
I think it has proved to be effective in keeping speeds at a minimum, in particular in school zones, that's would be the highest priority space. And so we haven't had any of those discussions here, but I did hear that Premier Ford was sounding off on photo radar in Toronto and Ontario.
Saskatchewan has 9 photo radar cameras located in Regina, Saskatoon, Moose Jaw, and Waka. The city of Saskatoon is launching a 5-year strategy to address homelessness and improve housing affordability. The plan, called Housing Saskatoon, focuses on diversifying housing, boosting affordable supply, and ensuring fair access to housing. The city says 10%, or about 11,000 households, face housing insecurity, with low-income families, single mothers, seniors, and Indigenous residents most affected. Mayor Cynthia Block says supporting vulnerable residents is a top priority.
It's important to me that we are getting people at the lowest end so that they can start to move through the housing continuum.
The strategy will be presented at 2 city committee meetings on Wednesday. A Saskatchewan man who suffered a brain injury as a result of a car crash is getting into the world of 3D printing, hoping that his creations can help others. Nicholas Vogan started making adaptive technology, and some of his creations are as simple as helping people hold cards with a special tiered device. He makes them in his 3D printer. Some of the cost was covered by him personally. Then he got a grant from the Makers Making Change organization. That helps people with disabilities thrive by having them make adaptive devices. For Vogan and providing an online catalog of the devices, it's a great step towards accessibility and giving his life purpose.
I've always been interested in technology, and this is perfect because it allows me to use both my, I love soldering and setting up like that, and it also I can use my software expertise like the Raspberry Pi.
The Makers Making Change website lists all the devices that can be created by people like Vogan and accessed by anyone looking for adaptive products. A National Historic Bird Sanctuary site is home to the province of Saskatchewan, marking the oldest sanctuary in North America. The Last Mountain Lake Migratory Bird Sanctuary, 165 kilometers southeast of Saskatoon, is a place where thousands of birds pass through during migration. One of the steps on their journey to breed in the Arctic, the historic site sees millions of birds of various species every year. Canadian Wildlife Service says Saskatchewan is the heart of the Central Flyway for birds who are traveling as far as 15,000 kilometers.
There's migration, which is really important, and the birds will go up the continent of North America from where they spend their winter, which can be in Texas, in Minnesota. It could be all the way down to South America, Argentina. They spend their winters there, and then they hopscotch up the continent in areas that have decent habitat and are safe for them.
The site is the first bird sanctuary established in North America, with Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, signing the cabinet documents back in 1887. After the break, open the doors for an open house. Sask Polytech opens its doors this week to showcase the programs offered. School is in session for many across the province, but if you're not in school right now, Saskatchewan Polytechnic is holding an open house. Today joining me is Ben Slowski, Manager of Strategic Enrollment Management. And Ben, thanks for joining us to, I guess, sort of preview what's going to be an open house. It's going to be all over the province, but Prince Albert is going to be the first one. So tell us a little bit about the open house coming up in Prince Albert.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite events of the year. It's an exciting event. This is open to the public. We want people to come in, meet the great people that we have as part of our team. We have wonderful instructors that have worked in industry and they're really passionate about what they do. And you're going to get a chance to see some of our amazing learning spaces and get a feel for what it's really like to go to school at Sask Polytech.
And is there a benefit to doing it a little bit into the school year where maybe there's a little bit of more life and livelihood going on campus as opposed to maybe, like an early August or a sort of a middle of summer? Do you find in fall is a better time to get everybody interested?
Yeah, absolutely. Fall is an exciting time. And for the most part, the earlier that you look into applying, if you're interested, the better. And something that's a feature about this event, we'll actually be offering to waive the application fee for anybody that's ready and interested in applying on the spot. So we'll waive that $100 fee, and my team will be there to help students apply right there if they'd like assistance.
Okay, so there's definitely some incentive to head out there on the evening and check out all the programs available. That's a good, a segue is, what are some of the programs that might be only available at the Prince Albert campus, or are there some of those where they might be just offered at one of the campuses around the province?
Polytech open house events in Moose Jaw, Prince Albert, Regina, and Saskatoon.
Right? It's a beautiful country.
Future students
it's no surprise that a few of our featured programs there are connected to the outdoors and to science. So we have one program there called Integrated Resource Management. This is where students learn to balance forestry, wildlife, and land use so that they can help industries thrive and work with them. We also have another one called Geographic Information Science. This is all about mapping, like technology with mapping. If you've ever used an app on your phone that involves any sort of mapping type of activities, the data comes from students that are working in this program. So that's really, really cool. And we also have resource and environmental law there, where you're going to train to protect our natural resources and enforce the regulations to do so.
Perfect. All right. So there's definitely sort of a specific option or a selection of options that you can have up in the Prince Albert campus. And so let's go a little bit back to maybe the spring and into the summer. There was a little bit of restructuring or just reformatting of the admin positions, some of the teaching positions at Sask Poly, but that was due to maybe a drop in international students. But you were mentioning there may be a sort of a makeup in the local students that are admissions.
Yeah, that's correct. It's been challenging times for post-secondary across the country. There have been some federal policies that have changed, and as a result, we have far fewer international students coming to our campuses. However, our teams have been working really hard to fill those gaps with domestic students, and we've actually grown for the past 2 years in domestic enrollment. We're seeing a lot more applications from domestic students, and that's a good thing.
So you mentioned in Prince Albert, are there a lot of the students that are at that location from Prince Albert or north, or is it kind of spread all around the province?
It is absolutely our most popular campus for students that are living in the north. It's the closest campus to home for them. It's a smaller campus, and it's really, really got a community feel. So, yeah, it's really it's kind of like a home away from home for our students coming from the north. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's going to be an exciting Thursday evening and a lot of options and a lot of incentive like we talked about. You can waive that application fee. So that's going to be exciting. And a Thursday night, Ben Slowski, Manager of Strategic Enrollment Management at Sask Polytech, joining us ahead of their open house Thursday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Jeff has the weather forecast when we come back. And later, the Raiders continue to roll early in the WHL season. For me, Jeff, Sunday was the day that I started the heater in the old house, and it was a little bit of a sad day. But how about you? Did you battle through the weekend and keep it cool?
I'm with you. It's like Saturday, I was busy doing outdoor projects. It was it's still pretty nice out, and then Sunday, it's like, these projects are going to have to wait. It wasn't. Now, the good news is on Sunday, it was starting gray and cool. In the afternoon, it wasn't too bad. You know, the sun came out and it was a bit on the breezy side. But we have got ourselves some pretty decent conditions until Sunday. Anyhow, more on that later, because it's going to be a little up and down. Temperatures are going to be fairly static, though, but that's the good news. We do have a series of systems that are going to come through, and that's why things, as they are a little bit on the unstable side. There's a bit of instability out there. You can certainly see some moisture. Could be rain and snow for some parts of Alberta, and that's certainly true of parts of Manitoba. Manitoba got a real rain, a real downpour over the weekend. But let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our computer modeling. So as you can see, the pressure lines a little closer together, but not such a big deal. And most of the active weather localized into northern parts of the province. So, and even then, it won't be significant. So we've got ourselves clear skies, or mainly clear conditions, just a little bit of cloud here and there. Spiritwood, -5, 0 in the Battlefords, but then -6 in Candle Lake, -6 for Birch Hills, the same for Rostern and Nipawin and Melfort. So if you bet on -6, you're a winner. There we go. On to tomorrow. Well, look at that. Yeah, temperatures jumping up at or above seasonal values. Nipawin maybe just a hair below, but I think that's bang on for Nipawin this time of year. The Battleford's expected to hit 20 degrees tomorrow, 17 for Spiritwood and Rostern, 16 in Birch Hills, 14 in Candle Lake. As I mentioned, under mainly cloudy skies, 13 degrees in Nipawin, and Melfort, 15 degrees. Now, for Prince Albert area, here is the overnight temperature. Ouch. -7 degrees, partly cloudy skies. I think we're getting to the point of no return when it comes to covering things up. So I was still covering things up, but I might have to just accept the fact that it's getting very cold at night. So as you can see, the wind's backing off tonight. Then tomorrow, they don't pick up all that much, mainly cloudy skies, but above seasonal temperatures by about 3 degrees for Prince Albert and area under mainly cloudy skies. And then as we take a look at Wednesday, 19 degrees, mainly sunny skies, staying on the sunny side of the street on Thursday and Friday, with temperatures getting up to 18 on Friday, 19 on Saturday, and then bam, bitter reality. Sunday, a good chance of showers, or an even chance of showers, 5 degrees. And Thanksgiving Monday, a balmy 4. Bobby Orr on your scorecard.
That's not exactly something I wanted to see for a nice day off, but hey, every now and then sometimes you got to accept.
You got to stay in and load up on turkey, my friend.
Yep, you got to accept this is the regular temperature for this time of year, I guess.
4 is way below seasonal, by the way. Okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad that we clarified that, Ben. Well, speaking of regular, the Prince Albert Raiders have yet to lose a game in regulation early in the WHL's regular season. On Saturday, the Red Deer Rebels came to town for the Raiders' only game all week. The Raiders scored twice in the first period, including the eventual game-winning goal from Jonas Sivertson. The Rebels only scored once before the game got rough, a total of 60 penalty minutes handed out as the Raiders cruised to a 4-1 win, their record now at 4-0-1. The Raiders will host the Vancouver Giants Tuesday night at 7. And meanwhile, the Saskatoon Blades also off to a red-hot start to their WHL season.
Lang walking in alone, cuts to the back and scores.
Dominic Peter had 2 goals and 2 assists. Hunter Lang added 2 more goals as the Blades beat the Brandon Wheat Kings 6-3. The Blades have won 4 of their first 6 to start the year. The Blades are back in action Tuesday when they host Vancouver. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders are back in the win column and now one win away from clinching the West Division. The offense is starting to heal up at the right time.
Harris over the middle. First down to the 25. Look who it is. Schaefer Baker back in the lineup.
Kean Schaefer-Baker making his first start Friday since week 1 when he was sidelined with a foot injury. With 3 games left in the season, Saskatchewan's full complement on offense is returning to the lineup. But all the changes do mean the team has struggled to find their stride this year.
Everybody plays their position a little bit different, so when everybody plays different and moves positions, it's going to be a little bit of time, you know. But thankfully, I've got plenty of reps with these guys.
It's probably harder on, say, the quarterback, but I think there's no one that works harder than Trevor. Like when we're out here for 2.5 hours, however long we're out here, an hour and a half, I don't even know what it is, but he works the whole time. He gets throws with certain guys. Hey, we need to work this. We haven't got it. Hey, we missed that one. Let's do it again.
Harris overcame the 4,000-yard passing plateau for the 6th time in his career, with 16 different players making at least one catch.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
The first Nobel Prize of the year was awarded in Stockholm this morning.
Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institutet has today decided to award the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine jointly to Mary Branco, Fred Ramsdell, and Shimon Sakaguchi for their discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance.
3 researchers, 2 from the U.S. and 1 from Japan, won the top prize in medicine for their research on how the body keeps the immune system under control. Their work has allowed for the development of possible new treatments for cancer and autoimmune diseases.
Initiated at IT Cancer Center Research Institute.
Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
Well, Jeff, busy Saturday in Saskatoon as it was football day in Saskatoon. More than 1,900 youth athletes competed throughout the day in and around Griffith Stadium. I saw a few of them. They were showcasing skills in both flag and tackle football. Then later in the day, the Saskatchewan Roughriders also made an appearance. And that's got to be a pretty, like you were saying, good weather there for an outdoor and a football day, I would say.
Great conditions. Get out there and throw the pigskin around. Hook and go.
Yeah, there you go. No
deep,
fumbles,
John.
no flags.
Go deep. I'll hit you.